Morning at NTV, great conversations actually running. There have been ongoing efforts to help Ugandan startups, well, to grow up their business readiness, to handle investment and improve their financial literacy. This Saturday morning, we're just talking to someone from NSSF, Mr. Mgira Travis. He said innovation is the way to go. Someone from Naru, Dr. Sadiq Kasim, says that innovation, technology is the way to go. Yesterday, we were talking to someone from the education sector and tourism. They're still saying innovation is the way to go. So how do we amplify this conversation to make more sense of the innovation and the literacy gaps we have in our country? I'm joined by Mr. Japheth Kawanguzi, the CEO of Innovation Village. Good morning, Japheth.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Thank you for having
me. The last time I was with you on Twitter, I was trolling you. I was trolling you, brother. Good to have you, though.
The same here.
Well, let's talk about the assessment of financial literacy. As an innovator, where do you see this generation when it gets to financial literacy from the innovation perspective?
I think it's a very interesting question because you see, financial literacy has been belittled to only look at savings, investments,
and traditional investments.
Yes. Beyond that, there's nothing. Beyond that.
Yes.
Or there's very little understanding beyond that. Now, I'd like us to just focus and blow up the word literacy in this case.
Yes.
And for me, it's about the knowledge and the depth of that knowledge and the applicability of that knowledge.
Nice.
And in this case, when you talk about innovation and then financial literacy, I'm also going into the digital literacy element.
Nice.
And that's how it begins to, to really expand. So in terms of financial literacy and innovation, I think what comes to mind is typical innovator. If you're trying to build a business and you have an idea, an idea is not a business.
Until it starts to make money and business sense.
So, and then you find that you have an idea, you're looking, everyone with an idea is looking for money.
Yes.
So the literacy component comes in terms of, what type of money should you be looking for? How much? Why?
Yes.
Should you even be looking for it? Do you even deserve the money you're looking for? And, what then do you have to do to be able to qualify for the money?
For the funds.
Yeah, for the funds. So we spend, as innovators, entrepreneurs, we spend a lot of time looking for money you don't need and don't deserve and haven't been ready for. And is looking for the money itself becomes the job versus building a company that you're supposed to be building.
Now then that brings me, what practices do startups need to do now so that they can adopt to those new dynamics?
It's an interesting one and also a difficult one because when you need money, you need money.
You need money. That's true. That's true.
You need money. You need money. And there's no person out there who will tell you that will listen to anything else
besides money.
That's
the figure.
Yeah. They'll tell you we're over-mentored, but there's no money.
Yes.
Money. But and it's very hard to push a different argument if that's the fact. And unfortunately, it's true, you need the money. But you see, the money doesn't come because you need it.
Yeah.
The money comes because you deserve it.
And you've earned it.
Yes. You deserve it because what you're building is investable. It is investable.
So it's bankable.
Yeah, it's bankable. It's investable because it's generating value. It's generating value because it's solving problems. It's solving problems for a big market.
Keyword solving problems.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So you find money. Tomorrow, money. If you're not answering problems you're solving, the market you're solving for, the uniqueness of the difference
of the idea.
Yes. What makes it better than the next idea? If you're not talking about that, then you look for money the rest of your life.
It becomes your job.
It becomes your job.
Now that brings me to the question. So how are you as Innovation Village helping the startups access these kind of funds? Now, you earlier on alluded to a statement that we have been over-mentored without funding.
Yes.
So what are you doing as Innovation Hub to see that the ones you've mentored, they can actually equally have their doors open to funding that they can now start running?
So it's a brilliant question again. And you see, we like I said, we oversimplify it.
Yes.
It's not the money alone.
Yeah.
When we're starting the Innovation Village, we were asked by a global company, what's the difference between you and the next hub that we support or work with? And it was hard to explain.
Yeah.
But, you know, it took us 2.5 years to understand
To find the
how
niche.
do you create value in a market where there's no money for an over-mentored entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah.
And we quickly understood that it's a combination of things. Entrepreneurs need, yes, the money, the capital, and the capital has so many colors and so many languages. They need access to market. They need access to partnerships. You know, they need access to good policy environment.
Yeah.
They need access to technology. They need access to, you know, actual business development
Yeah.
to help them grow their company. So if you give them the money, it will be there the next morning, you know, saying, you know, how much of this.
Yeah.
So either way, the money you get is not enough to move you to the next level. So what we're trying to do is, how do we build a solution that speaks to the different components that the entrepreneur needs? So for example, access to market, access to private sector, access to partnerships. We run a series of interventions that make sure that across 10 sectors, this entrepreneur can get access to a business partner. You know, I remember last time I was here,
Yeah.
we were running the Future of Media
Oh, yes.
with you.
Yes.
And that was us bringing startups that have solutions in media. And
To plug in.
To plug in.
You're addressing the media deserts then.
Yeah, without necessarily talking about money.
Oh, yes.
But helping this entrepreneur get access to a partner who can help them, you know, scale out what they're trying to build.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that said, of course, we have built the 97 Fund. Last year, we funded 10 entrepreneurs. We've built Kampala Angel Investors Network that brings together local investors to back local startups.
That's nice.
Which gives confidence to foreign investors to partner.
Equally come through. Now, what is the biggest risk of startups in this, you know, pandemic kind of economy where we are today? The biggest risk now?
That's an impossible question.
Yeah.
You know, starting a startup in itself means the default state of a startup is failure.
Yeah.
You know,
it won't work.
It won't work.
Yeah.
That's what a startup is.
Yes.
Everything you do beyond that is to unfail.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you don't have access to capital. No one believes in you.
Yeah.
The policy environment. You don't have talent to build your company. So the biggest risk is, you know, it's been made harder. It was already hard, but it's now impossible because of access to all of the, you know, stay home, stay safe, wash your hands. But it also creates the opportunity that then, if you put up your hand and decide to solve problems that matter, big, sticky problems, then you become one of the many that are well sought after in times like this.
Nice. Just as we're finalizing this conversation, we're talking about innovation and a couple of things what need to be done, especially for startups. With me, it's Japheth. Now, Japheth, briefly, I want you to bring me to speed about the CEO Summit coming up, I think, on the 17th of this very month.
Yes.
Have the resolutions made at the forum over the years yielded? We want to audit what we said last time. Have they been worked upon? Are they making sense? Do we have results to show for this?
I think the very fact that we're here and we can boldly come back to have that conversation.
That we're getting to the results.
Yes.
Okay.
But we are grateful, you know, for the CEO Summit and this partnership led by Dr. Chimboa to create a platform where we can, and this 17th September we'll be looking at shared value.
Nice.
Looking at how can typical private sector CEOs, companies reimagine how they work with communities, with young people, with entrepreneurs. You know, the popular thing is CSR.
Yeah.
That's a thing of the past.
Yes.
So that will be the focus of the conversation. But looking at as of the previous summits yielded value, 100%, because what we're now seeing through the CEO Summit initiatives like CAP, the CEO Apprenticeship Program, where there are many middle-level career C-suite executives who have taken up you know, the big
Positions,
office and contributing to growth of their companies. And you know, there is a CEO Summit Apprenticeship Club that has mentored many of them,
Upcoming CEOs and more.
but where I'm going to is that those apprentices are now also mentoring young people
Wow, that's
who
nice.
out of, you know, their organizations.
That is a leadership cycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I guess for me, my interest now is in how do we get these corporates, the private sector, to do what we call corporate venturing? How do we get them to begin working with Uganda's best entrepreneurs?
CEOs and entrepreneurs. I hear you.
To
Wow.
link them up, to have the problems these entrepreneurs are solving be piloted in these organizations.
Nice.
And that's what we're, you know, trying to achieve ultimately, where a corporate in any sector thinks of how do we innovate. You mentioned that everybody is saying innovation is the way here.
Innovation.
How do we innovate? The person they should be thinking about is Uganda is one of the most entrepreneurial countries in the world.
Yeah.
How do we tap into this innovation potential that these young people have? And that's how we now also solve the problem of funding, of building a business,
and the capacity.
And the capacity, yes.
Wow, that's a conversation you're going to tap into 17th September. Will be live? Is it going to be live on the different platforms?
We're here already, so...
Absolutely. So there you go. If you're one of those who want to be a part of this, make sure that you don't miss on that on 17th of September 2021. Japheth, your last remarks about this. If I want to join the summit and enjoy it, where can I find it? Where do I register? The likes.
Follow our socials on CEO Summit across all platforms.
Okay.
We'll also be sharing on the Innovation Village socials about the upcoming summit, looking to create that shared value between startups and corporates. But all the information will be on the socials, and we'll definitely be working with the NTV to take the message out there.
There you have it. That is Japheth from the Innovation Village. Today we are talking innovation, business. A lot more is actually coming through. Now, you know, I will be a part of the summit. You too need to be a part of the summit. I'll take a break and I'll be back shortly. Good morning.